Japan is ready to go to war with China, and their big gun is none other than their aircraft carriers. Between the presence of the Chinese ships in the Pacific south of Japan and the sailing of Japan's aircraft carrier shockingly close to China's Liaoning, one thing is clear: the tensions between both countries continue to rise, and as a result Japan has invested quite literally a boatload of time and money into building its military might, particularly in terms of aircraft carriers, and into building its relationships with world powers whose military might has already been established. The US and UK to ensure that bout with China doesn't see them starting off on the back foot. It's become a necessity for Japan to be a rising power. China is simply no easy opposition to go toe-to-toe with. The country has the world's largest land army. With over 2 million active soldiers, it has the largest submarine fleet and currently has the second largest aircraft carrier fleet after launching its new aircraft carrier in June of 2022. This new aircraft carrier, known as the Type 03 Fujian, is China's third, but by far its most powerful. It bears a striking resemblance with American supercarriers in terms of the overall design, flight deck structure, and the wielding of electromagnetic launch systems that enable to launch virtually every kind of modern aircraft. The Fujian has an impressive displacement of 880,000 tons, all powered by steam turbines that produce over 220,000 horsepower. This powerful floating airbase is what China's non-allies are up against, and with Japan being the most notable non-ally in close proximity, the mantle is on the country to be at least something of a worthy adversary. While the US and UK make their journey east for this reason and more, Japan has its JS Isumo aircraft carrier. Japan JS Isumo is the lead ship of the Isumo-class floating airbases of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, aka Japan's Navy. It was originally built as a helicopter-carrying destroyer, but it's had an interesting journey that would upgrade it into an aircraft carrier that could counter its Chinese equivalent. However, the ship has neither a ski jump nor a catapult, which are typical features used in launching fixed-wing aircraft. If Sumo would operate fixed-wing aircraft, it would be limited to short takeoff vertical landing aircraft or STOVL aircraft for short. One such aircraft is the American F-35B, which is widely regarded as the most advanced, most intelligent stealth jet ever to grace the skies. This STOVL approach seemed manageable enough for Japan's Ministry of Defense, and so despite already having the conventional version of the F-35, that is the F-35A, Japan announced in December 2018 that it would purchase about 40 F-35Bs to be shared between Isumo and its sister carrier Kaga. After conversion 3 years later, 2 United States Marine Corps F-35B fighters performed the first vertical landings and horizontal takeoffs from Isumo, marking the first time in more than 75 years that a fixed-wing aircraft would be operated from a Japanese carrier. Izumo's conversion began in 2020 with initial modifications that include strengthening the heat resistance of the deck and installing power supply equipment to enable the departure and arrival of the F-35B. A second renovation to change the bow shape to a quadrangle for the safe operation of the F-35B, and the maintenance of the interior compartments is scheduled to be carried out starting from the end of 2024. This would result in the JS Isumo becoming, although still 68% lighter than the Chinese Fujian, a lethal 26,000-ton aircraft carrier armed with a minimum of 12 F-35Bs, 7 anti-submarine helicopters, 2 search-rescue helicopters, and a variety of other aircraft for built-in fittings. The Isumo has an air defense suite consisting of 2 fail-lengths and 2 cram close-in weapon systems. Horses, it has a wide array of sensors, processing equipment, electronic warfare, and decoys that enable it to spot and counter threats in time. All of these are powered by propulsion system of a coag with 2 shafts and 4G IHI LM2500 IEC gas turbines that produce up to 12,100 horsepower, equivalent to 83,000 kW. This propulsion system thrusts the Isumo to a top speed of 30 knots and provides enough power across the entire ship to serve a complement of 520 people. All of these features and capabilities add to give the Isumo a price tag of just over $1 billion. The Isumo and its twin Kaga are what Japan would bring to the table in the trio, including the UK and the US. Each aircraft carrier offering from the UK, though, would be even more impressive and at least 3 times more expensive. Enter the UK's Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier class. UK Queen Elizabeth carrier class. The Queen Elizabeth class is a class of 2 aircraft carriers of the United Kingdom's Royal Navy, which are the central components of the UK carrier strike group. The lead ship, HMS Queen Elizabeth, was commissioned on the 7th of December, 2017. The second HMS Prince of Wales was commissioned on the 10th of December, 2019 at a displacement of 65,000 tons each. They are the largest warships ever constructed for the Royal Navy. Although 19% lighter than the Chinese Fujian, each Queen Elizabeth-class carrier can reach top speeds of up to 32 knots across an operational range of 12,000 miles. That's 1.5 times the diameter of the planet. This is made possible by an integrated electronic propulsion system and power source consisting of 2 Rolls-Royce Marine Trent MT-34 Wazilla 16 V38 marine diesel engines, 4 GE power conversion advanced induction motors, and VDM 25,000 drives, and so on, that all combined to produce 158.00 horsepower. This setup was opted for over a more beneficial nuclear propulsion system for cost and maintenance reasons. In terms of attack, each carrier has 3 Fangxius, 4 30mm DS-30M, 2 Liaoning Quachas guns, and 6 Min guns for non-U offenses. Each carrier can carry up to 40 aircraft consisting of an assortment of the Chinook Apache Merlin and Wildcat helicopters, airborne early warning and control aircraft, and the F-35B Lightning II stealth fighter. This variant of the F-35B was chosen, as in the case of Japan's aircraft carrier, due to its STOVL capabilities, because neither of the Queen Elizabeth-class carriers features a catapult-assisted takeoff, barrier-arrested recovery configuration, or CATR for short. In every other department, these carriers, when optimally operated by their complement of 1,600 people, are not found wanting, justifying their budget zapping. Combined cost of over $9.3 billion. FY as that sounds, this combined cost is significantly lower than the cost of a single USS Ford supercarrier, which is what the US would enter this night fight with us. USS Gerald Ford. It's not much of a contest when the American USS Gerald Ford is involved. The 100,000 T carrier is the largest, heaviest, and most capable aircraft carrier ever built. 2 BL A-1B nuclear reactors, the most cutting-edge engines created for use on water, powered the USS Gerald Ford. As a result, the carrier would only need to be refilled once over its entire 50-year operational life, as these engines make use of the everlasting nature of nuclear energy. And with a peak speed of around 30 knots, the supercarrier can access every country on the planet just in time to pay friendly visits to allies and wreak havoc on enemies. USS Ford also features the latest sensors, processors, and weapons needed on an aircraft carrier to maintain that balance of intelligence and lethality. Unlike virtually every other aircraft carrier in the world, the USS Ford features a single system for both horizon and volume search, with enough versatility to handle surveillance, air traffic control, missile communications, and spot targets from miles away. The carrier's air wing consists of up to 75 aircraft of whatever form, shape, and size, including both the F-35B and F-35C. This versatility is due to the USS Ford wielding electromagnetic launch and arrest system so advanced that aliens would think humans were from the future. At peak performance, these systems offer 4,100 takeoffs and 16,500 arrests before faults. Such reliability would mean less work for the carrier's massive complement of 4,500 people, all of whom are catered to with onboard life enhancement features such as ergonomic spaces and gymnasiums. For these reasons, and the bonus of completely leaving the Chinese Fuan in the sea equivalent of dust, the USS Ford comes at an estimated whopping cost of $17.5 billion. That completes the representative aircraft carriers for 3 of the world's most powerful nations, the US, UK, and Japan. Japan in particular gets credit for rising in power constantly to a point where they are able to shock the world with the most modern technologies and advanced capabilities. Currently, the only feat remaining to achieve is to have you subscribe to this channel and give this video a like, so kindly do so now. For Japan's sake, thanks for watching.